South-South trade, that is from Africa to Latin America and the Caribbean, contributed 12.5% to global containerized trade in 2022. That is to say, the importance of South-South cooperation towards strengthening of global trade cannot be overemphasized. Hello there. You're welcome to Nimasa this week, the programs that gives you in-depth guide on all that you need to know about the maritime industry. I'm Moyolua Olutayo, your guide on the program.
Any vessel operating coastal voyage in Nigeria must mandatorily have on board the following: vessel logbook, vessel port of call, vessel particulars, which include registry certificates, safety equipment certificates such as safe manning certificates, builder's certificates, load line certificates, tonnage certificates, radio certificate, insurance certificates, classification certificates, passenger ship safety certificate, service certificate, cargo ship certificate, and waiver certificates or receipts. Vessel owners, captains, shipping agents, and members of the public are advised to note and comply.
You're still on the program Nimasa this week. Join me on the voyage as I take you to the National Assembly, the upper chamber in particular, where the Senate Committee on Maritime Transport organized a public hearing on the bill for the repeal and enactment of the Nimasa Act. It was an interesting cross-fertilization of ideas for stakeholders in the maritime sector as the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy led the stakeholders before the lawmakers. Stay tuned.
The Senate Committee on Marine Transport convened a public hearing to discuss the Nimasa Repeal and Amendment Bill currently before the upper chambers of the National Assembly. The committee engaged stakeholders from the maritime sector, including officials from the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, led by the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Olufemi Oloruntola. Other stakeholders also presented their positions before the committee. The Senate President was represented by the Senate Chief Whip, who attended the hearing in his stead.
Distinguished senators, fellow patriots, and distinguished guests, it is with great pride and joy that I stand before you on this monumental occasion of a public hearing on Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Bill 2023 HB 153. The bill holds the promise of shaping the future of our beloved nation. As we embark on this journey of public discourse and engagement, let us remember that the power of the people lies in their voices.
It is with profound honor and gratitude that I, on behalf of members of the Senate Committee on Marine Transport, welcome you all to this public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Marine Transport on the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Bill 2023 SB 153. In order to further enrich the provisions of the bill due to its sensitive and highly technical nature, this exercise, no doubt, will avail the Senate the opportunity to enact a legislation that it will not only reposition maritime administration and safety management in the country, but it also help the country to maximize the benefits which abound in the maritime industry.
The Nimasa Amendment Bill 2023 refers to proposed changes to the Nimasa Act. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency is responsible for regulating and promoting maritime safety, security, and shipping in Nigeria. The amendments aim to address current challenges and improve the effectiveness of the agency. Key aspects of the Nimasa Amendment Bill 2023 include strengthening regulatory powers, enhancing Nimasa's authority to enforce maritime laws and regulations, and introducing measures to improve the safety and security of Nigeria's maritime domain.
I'm sure you all agree with me that security is one of the most expensive apparatus in Nigeria. And if a classic example is what has happened in Nigeria in the last 3 years, where Nimasa has been funding the Deep Blue Sea, which the Navy, the Air Force, the Army have been benefiting from. The most important achievement of that is that Nigeria has achieved 0% piracy in Nigerian waters in the last 3 years.
Other key aspects of the Nimasa Amendment Bill 2023 include environmental protection by implementing stricter guidelines for environmental protection and pollution control in Nigerian waters, capacity building by promoting the development of human resources and infrastructure to support the maritime industry, and revenue generation, which will involve streamlining processes to enhance revenue collection and reduce leakages in the maritime sector.
I want to state on record that the Nigerian Navy enjoys a robust working relationship with the Nimasa. We have a working MOU which has till this day been very veritable and profitable. And we welcome the review and the repeal of the Nimasa Bill and Act respectively.
We have all the regulators of the sector here under the esteemed supervision of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. We are very excited about this new ministry, and we know that this will help to drive the maritime economy of Nigeria.
The bill is part of broader efforts to modernize Nigeria's maritime sector, making it more competitive and aligned with international best practices.
Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
The executives of the Chartered Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria, CIOTA, paid a visit to the management of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency at the Nimasa Towers in Lagos. The executives, led by the President, Mr. Segun Obayendo, congratulated the Director General on his appointment and pledged to collaborate with the agency in ensuring the transportation sector is professionally driven.
DG, before you is the Principal Officers of Chartered Institute of Transport Administration. The Institute has been around for a very long time, and we're happy to also note that while you were in the UK, you are a member of IOTA, where we derive our chartered status from. So we just came to congratulate you and to also welcome you on board once again in the transportation family, and to let you know that the Nimasa has been one of our number one supporter. As a matter of fact, your predecessor happened to be the president I succeeded.
On his part, the Director General welcomed the association and expressed the readiness of the agency to partner with CIOTA towards achieving a robust transport sector.
I really appreciate your coming, and I also appreciate what you stand for as an association. What we need to do is to continue to work in collaboration and continue to promote ourselves. Nobody is going to promote us. We have to be mindful of that. And I would also want to say that I acknowledged my predecessor's contribution to the association. Whatever my predecessor have done to support the association, we will continue.
In a notable highlight, Dr. Dayo Moberiola, the Nimasa DG, was conferred a fellowship of the Institute.
We all know that we are now upgrading it to the Chartered Institute of Transport Administration Fellowship, which is the only recognized and legal transport institute in Nigeria, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm very much honored to be recognized for my little contribution to the profession, and the fact that my colleagues are here to recognize my efforts. And like I said earlier, I also recognize their efforts as well in developing transportation as well as making it more professional in Nigeria.
A dock worker, in simple terms, is a laborer who loads and unloads vessels in a port. The role of a dock worker and responsibilities include, but not limited to, assisting with loading and unloading trucks, moving items to staging area using a forklift or pallet jack, ensuring items are packaged safely before shipping. They are also responsible for imputing shipping information into computer systems, log any shortages or damages, and maintain a clean and safe workplace, amongst others. They can be considered hands-on human component in port operations.
You're still on the program Nimasa This Week. We appreciate all our viewers that are with us on the program today, home and abroad. Bayelsa State is considered an aquatic state, and His Excellency Governor Doyedire has appointed a commissioner for marine and blue economy. The commissioner, Dr. Zibbs Godwin, followed up a courtesy visit to the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy with a visit to the management of Nimasa. She was received by the agency's Executive Director Operations. Stay tuned.
The Commissioner for Blue Economy in Bayelsa State, Dr. Mrs. Zibbs Godwin Izebenwa Faith, led a delegation from the state on a courtesy visit to the Nimasa management in Lagos. Engineer Fatai Adeyemi, the agency's Executive Director Operations, received the team on behalf of the agency. He emphasized the vital importance of the oceans, describing them as the lifeblood of our planet and the key drivers of commerce. He also stressed the need for concerted efforts to preserve the oceans and their resources, highlighting the urgent need to mitigate the effects of climate change and other environmental threats facing our planet.
It is expected that in this meeting, we share ideas which we have already started on the implementation of our common mandate as it pertains to sustainable management practice. Our agency is dedicated to working collaboratively with all stakeholders, industry, government, entities, and international organizations. Together, we share insights and resources, and we can enhance our collective efforts to meet the challenges faced by shipping and maritime sectors.
I want to reiterate what the Executive Director said in his statement, which you all will agree with us that the ocean is the lifeblood and the future of the planet. And as we all see the climate change and other extreme weather events unfolding every day, it becomes more and more apparent that mankind owes a duty to take better care of the planetary resources in a sustainable way.
On her part, the Commissioner, Dr. Mrs. Zibbs Godwin, stated that the agency's support is needed in designing and implementing training programs for local fishermen to enhance their skills and adopt sustainable fishing practices. She pledged the Bayelsa State Government's readiness to collaborate with Nimasa to ensure the country reaps the benefits of the maritime sector.
For our short-term initiatives, we are delighted to let you know that we are organizing a strategic stakeholder engagement summit to discuss opportunities and challenges in the blue economy, and we'll be honored to have Nimasa actively participate and share insights. We also plan to launch training programs for artisan fishermen to improve their techniques and promote sustainable practices. We seek once again Nimasa's support in providing trainers and resources.
Yes, we need your support, and we do hope that your expertise on ground already can add value to the process. One of the first things that any government will want to do is policy development, and that those policies will have to be in alignment with the existing policies and regulations.
Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Marine and blue economy is estimated to contribute significantly to the country's GDP and increase the revenue of the country and potentially creating millions of jobs directly and indirectly. As the pioneer minister of the ministry, it is my primary responsibility to lay a solid foundation for the sector so as to position Nigeria as a premier maritime nation. The objective of optimizing the potential of the marine and blue economy to diversify revenue, deliver sustainable development, and cultivate environmental stewardship can only be achieved by enabling an inclusive maritime and blue economy driven by an operating environment that meets global best standards.
On Thursday, July 18, 2024, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency received a distress signal from the Regional Maritime Rescue Coordination Center, RMRCC, in Lagos, regarding Britannia U, a drilling platform located at Ajakpa Field, OML 90, approximately 10.77 nautical miles south of Forcados Terminal in Delta State, Nigeria. All 19 crew members aboard the ill-fated Britannia U drilling platform were successfully rescued from the vessel. The Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dayo Muberiola, has set up an incident command center in the Office of the Executive Director Operations to develop and implement an effective situation-based response plan for oil spillage or other incidents impacting the marine environment and navigation safety. Furthermore, in line with its mandate under the Merchant Shipping Act 2007, Nimasa's Marine Accident Investigation Unit has initiated an investigation into the direct and underlying causes of this unfortunate incident. The outcome of the investigation will be published, and subsequent recommendations will be strictly implemented to prevent similar occurrences in the future. This is Britannia U, 72 hours after the incident.
Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
It's been a beautiful time on the program today. The African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is expected to increase the intra-African freight by 28% and demand on maritime freight by 62%. Food for thought. Well, until we meet again next week on this same platform and the same channel, I say bye for now.
Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond.